engage with haters and stuff like that. Everybody has haters. I get that. I actually, and this is going to surprise a lot of people, I had a straight up conversation with Ariel Helwani. If you're unfamiliar with the situation, him and I have been going back and forth on our shows. He took to social media, which is fine. That's his right. More so him than me. But we had a conversation, a straight up phone call, like two grown-ups. And I got news for you guys too. I don't hate the guy in any facet. Never hate the guy. Never hate the guy. I think this kind of spiraled out of control a little bit on his end because, you know, when I made those off-putting comments about him on the fight campaign, which set this whole thing off, and I apologize for that to him. I text him and we got this whole text thread. I didn't realize how bad I hurt. To be honest, I didn't realize how bad I hurt him, or it was a sensitive subject for him, which it should be. I'm not saying he's crazy sensitive. I'm just saying that's a sensitive subject for him. And then I was like, dude, I'll apologize on the show. Not a big deal. And then I go on the show and, you know, I can't do it on here. So I did on Firing the Kid. And if you look at the tone of the apology, I'm joking, man. You know, Firing the Kid is basically a comedy show. Sometimes we miss, sometimes we hit it out the park. But it's three guys with Bryan, who's a comic, Chappelle Lacey, who's a comic, and myself. So, you know, that's not a serious show for serious subjects. So I probably shouldn't have done it there. But I also kind of had no choice. Can't do it on King of Sting, right? That's definitely not the platform for it. Here, you know, Showtime's not going to engage in this, you know, this Twitter beef. It's Showtime, you know? They're like, what are you doing? Which I understand too. So I did on Firing the Kid. But I think the context with on Firing the Kid, it came off as a joke as I wasn't taking it serious. And that also upset Ariel, which now looking back, and I understand. So we had a conversation like two grown-ass adults. And I get from his view, I get it, man. I get it. I get it from a number of different angles. You know, I think the narrative on UFC 199 and UFC 200 with the Brock Lesnar situation, the narrative that probably the UFC put out, which, you know, I know better than anybody how that organization works. Not better than anybody, better than most, I'd say. There's a lot of people that know more than me, but I have an idea how it works. I've worked for the UFC as an athlete, worked for the UFC as far as entertainer, host, so I get it. You know, so if they paint a narrative, it's going to be tough to ditch that narrative. And then not only do they paint that narrative, and obviously I have friends that work in the organization who they're getting the same information I get. So if you look at the MMA space, there's maybe 5 of us. You know, when you think about it, who is it? It's like Ariel, Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell, Chael Sonnen. You got DC doing the thing now. You got Michael Bisping. I'm saying as far as like this podcast entertainment lane, you know, but Ariel, out of all of them, and Luke are journalists, right? But if, you know, you have those 6 guys and 4 out of the 6 are painting this narrative, to the public, that's going to be the narrative. And I was trying to put myself in Ariel's shoes. Let's say that's not the narrative, but these guys are painting that narrative. You're going to be pissed off, man. You're going to be upset. Now, I'm not a journalist. I know. I stayed at Holiday Inn, but I'm not a journalist. So I'm just saying what I heard from other people at the event and how it went down. Again, I don't know. I don't know Ariel that well. So when I talked to him, he goes, dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that's not how it went down. That's the narrative that gets painted by the UFC, but that's not how it went down. He goes, I swear on my kids, that's not the way it went down. That's good enough for me, man. Now, I don't know. I don't watch Ariel's show. I think he's at the same time as I do. I also don't like to watch other people's interviews if it's somebody I'm going to interview, because I don't want to be, you know, it'll make me change the way I do it, because I'm like, oh, people have already heard this. I'd rather just figure it out on my own. So I hand to God, hand to my kids, I don't watch his show. It's not that I don't think it's a good show. I just don't watch it. I don't have time to watch that many shows. So, you know, I don't know if he's covered what exactly happened at UFC 199 or 200. If he hasn't, it'd be great if he told us his side of the story, which I think a lot of people would like to hear. Again, does anybody here watch it? No. But do we know what exactly, has he said what happened at UFC 199? Maybe he can't say it. I don't know. But he just goes, I'm telling you, that's not how it went down. It wasn't a fact that, you know, I had a mole inside and they released the news to me and I knew not to release it and I released it. He's like, I've been, you know, I think he went to Syracuse, some shit for journalists. Like, that's rule number 1, dude. That's rule number one. And Ariel's a very fucking smart dude. Very, very smart guy. So, all right. I believe him, man. I believe him. You won't hear me paint that narrative ever again, Ariel. And that's on me, man. But again, I didn't know him, and other people tell me I knew better, but that's not fair to him. I don't know him. So that's on me. And also, I think one of the things I connected with him with is, his time at ESPN, he didn't get fired. I know for a fact. Remember, I used to work at ESPN. So I know a little bit of that lay of land. Not as well as he does, but I still have friends that work there and people that work in Bristol and stuff like that. So he didn't get fired. But you got to realize when him and I are going back and forth, and it's even rare I go back and forth with anybody. It's not that I think I'm better than them. I just don't like negativity. I just don't, man. Things are too good. I have the best job in the world, man. I have the best fucking job in the world. Doing stand-up and being able to do these multiple shows that I do. I know I do too many podcasts, but I'm just saying, to have this in my own studio and my kids are healthy, dude, I have the best job in the world. I have no reason to be negative towards anybody. But I respect Ariel enough, and that's why I'm doing this, where I realize where he would be upset, and that's why I'm doing this. I own this. When it comes to, him being difficult to work with or him getting fired from ESPN, I don't see the stuff he says. Obviously, I have a team that goes, dude, he's saying this, he's saying this. That stuff doesn't bother me because, obviously when they go low, you go high, right? That's the fucking Hillary Clinton line. Sometimes you got to go low. But if you're going to go low, you're saying shit you don't mean. Like if you're in a fight with your friend or your girlfriend, you don't mean a lot of that stuff. I don't think he means what he said. And also, I think the reason why it does bother me is because, he doesn't know. Just like I don't know. I'm not a journalist. I don't know what happened at UFC 199. He tells me it didn't go down like that. I believe him. Because he's the best journalist we have. And I don't think he's never lied to me. I don't think he's known as a liar. So there's no reason to do it now. And also the UFC can be tricky. I'll give him that. So me saying, the UFC 199 or he got fired, I don't fucking know. That's just stuff for that's stuff for the internet, man. That's stuff low blows. It's him low blow. Oh, Brendan doesn't sell tickets or he doesn't like my comedy. Okay. All the stuff that he said and all the stuff I've said, you've all heard, everybody's heard before. None of it's original. No one wrote any new material with me and him roasting each other. Nobody did. This is all stuff I've heard since, it's been a common theme with me since I started playing football. Oh, he's just a funny guy. He's not a football player. All right. Then I do my thing in football. I go from football to UFC. Oh, he's not a UFC fighter. He's a football player. Well, okay. I do my thing in UFC. I leave UFC, and then I go into a podcast. And okay, he's just a fighter, and he's on a podcast. Okay, then the podcast happens. All right, he's not calm. He's just a podcaster. So this is nothing new. Doesn't bother me. God gave me these big shoulders for a reason. I can handle. Trust me, I can handle all of it. Doesn't get to me, man. So as far as UFC 199, I believe him. I don't think he was a snitch and ratted out. I don't. He has no reason to lie. And you don't go to school and have his reputation and do something that stupid. I just don't. I don't believe it. But my point of all this, a lot of it is one of the things I connected on him with is, when he went to ESPN, you have this idea, and I've worked for ESPN, Fox, Bravo, Showtime. Showtime's been nothing but great to me. The best partners I've ever been associated with. This isn't has nothing to do with Showtime. There's some other people that I've worked for before. And even to that matter, when I get to the NFL, when I get to the UFC, or even college football, man, you have this idea in your head before you get there. You have a goal in your mind. And Ariel's goal was ESPN, and he wanted to be the Skip Bayless and do MMA, and he was the face of MMA, and he wanted to do basketball. He knows basketball really, really well. He's a big Montreal Expos fan, even though they're not there anymore, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like he can do other stuff, but he's known as the MMA guy. So I think by going to ESPN, he had this idea where, and I could be wrong on this, Ariel, correct me if I'm off on this, but this is my sense on the outside looking in. And I can relate to this, where you get to ESPN and you think, it's it's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and you got the golden ticket, and now's your opportunity, and you're gonna take over the chocolate factory, and then you realize how the chocolate's made, and you realize how that Willy Wonka's out of his mind, and you're just like, oh, this isn't, oh my God, all these years, man, this is what I wanted, and I'm here, and I have it, and this is nothing what I thought it was gonna be. Oh my, this is heartbreaking. And then, you know, your contract's up. They did offer him another contract. I know that for a fact. They offered him another contract. He didn't get fired. And you're like, I'm good. It's heartbreaking, and you're upset, but you're gonna be fine because you have a set of skills where you can do other stuff, and you've been smart about it. And you're like, I'm good, man. This isn't gonna work out. And it's not that financially you're hurting. It's just you had this dream, and then you realize that it's just not gonna happen. I that's the kind of I get from him, and it's not his fault. You're in a machine. You're in this machine. You realize that it's just not what you thought it was going to be. It's heartbreaking. Trust me, it's heartbreaking. I've been there, man. So I respect him in that aspect. You know, I've been there, man. You gotta adapt, and you gotta do your own thing. And you know, he's back at MMA fighting, and you know, the narrative of him being difficult to work with. Again, these are all knocks on Ariel that you have all heard. I don't know if he's difficult to work with. I don't think so. Me and him were supposed to work together for Conor Floyd. Obviously, Dana did his thing and nixed him. And you can ask Ariel. He was the first one that he probably talked to, was me. I just tell him how fucked up it is and how bad I felt for him, and how if I could help him to let me know. So yeah, I get it, man. I get it. I get that aspect, and I relate to that. You know, but he's at MMA fighting. So if he was difficult to work with, I don't think MMA fighting would have brought him back. So that's not a narrative. The narrative that me and him are doing this for views. I think Ariel tell you guys this, and again, that's the narrative. Ariel's just thirsty doing this for views. You never heard me say that. I don't think it's that. I generally think I struck a nerve with him by some of the stuff I said, because if that's the painted narrative, he's in the land now where he's going to have to get creative and do his thing, and he's doing that. But if that narrative's out there, it's not going to help. It might not hurt. I'm not saying I'm Joe Rogan or Chael Sonnen, where what I say is the word, but it's not going to help, man. And I don't want to contribute to that. I really don't. He has kids, and he's worked hard to get to where he's at, and I'm not going to be part of that shit. I'm just not. If that's what you guys came here for, sorry, man. It's not what I do. And as far as the shit talking and view stuff like that, I'm sure it helps out a little bit. Sure, people love drama and stuff like that, and is a form of entertainment. It's just not what I like to do. I like to build people up. I like to help people. That's that's my favorite thing to do. It is. You can ask anybody I work with, man. So I think for Ariel, him going back to MMA fighting, them open him with open arms, welcome with open arms, shows you that probably not that difficult to work with, because he's been there before. And then also, he doesn't own the YouTube channel of MMA fighting. So he gets paid, I would assume, again, I don't know the details, but I know he doesn't own the YouTube page. So by him doing this, people are, you're just doing this for views. He doesn't see any compensation no matter what. Just like I don't own this Showtime channel you're watching right now. I don't. So me getting to beef with Ariel to get more views, my bank account stays the same. So there's not a lot of incentive to do it. So when I think about that, I'm like, God, this actually hurt Ariel. I respect him too much for this to continue on. And him going to Instagram, stuff like that, that's what you want to do it, dude. But you're not going to hear me say another bad thing about Ariel. I'm not painting the narrative he's difficult to work with. The narrative of UFC 199 with the Brock Lesnar. I wish he'd come out and say what happened. If he has, my bad. His fans were like, dude, he's fucking been over a million times. I don't know the narrative. But again, you're not going to hear me paint that narrative anymore. The narrative of him getting fired from ESPN, that's a lie. That never happened. But again, these are all digs. This is what you do, when you're just a piece of shit, really. And the same digs he took on me, piece of shit move. But, all's fair in love and war. I'm sure he said some things he didn't mean. I definitely said some things I didn't mean. And that's it, man. That's it. So if you came here for me to light up Ariel, if you think it's continue on, it's not what I do. It's not what I do. We both got hard enough jobs. When you think about it, I made fun of him for booking 17 people on a show. You know how hard it is to book people on shows? You have any idea how hard it is? I know you guys, you're used to Ariel just having these amazing guests, and he has whatever 5 or 6. Obviously, I exaggerate 17 because I'm trying to be funny, but to have 5 or 6 guests on, the amount of time that goes in, I'm sure you have somebody that helps them, or maybe not. Just me booking the Calabasas Fight Companion food truck is it's my least favorite part of this gig. I hate asking people for favors. I hate asking people to come on the show. I hate it. I love when they're here. I love doing it, but it's the number one stress I have in this business is asking people to come do the show. I hate it, man, because you're busy trying to be creative, putting out good content. You know, I do stand up. Stand up takes all my time, and this stuff I do during the week, but my focus is on that. So when I have to sidetrack and book guests and their flights, and it's a beast, man. And thank God I have Casey's helping out, but it's a beast, man. So my hat's off to him. And I just showed you when I go, oh, 17 people on a show. I don't mean that, because I know how the sausage is made. I know how much of a beast that is. So hats off to you, dude. But that's it, man. I have nothing but respect for him. Hopefully this clears the air for him. If not, I don't tell you guys, but you will never hear another bad word about Ariel Helwani on this show or any of my shows. That's it. Put to rest, guys. Put to rest. What do you got, Jen?
When I graduated audio engineering school and interned at a studio.
You interned at a studio?
Yeah, not his.
You're the mole?
A recording studio,
Oh, okay.
Music studio. So during the breaks, I watched this MAR podcast when it first came out, like when it was a tiny room. Mm-hmm. So I've been a fan forever. And then, I don't have time to watch the show anymore, really, right?
Yeah.
So I'll listen to the show.
Okay.
But we also pull up a lot of articles from Ariel. We got
from MMA fighting,
a lot of good
100%.
stuff from him. Yeah. So, yeah, there's the show. People would tag me in the Instagram thing, and he said, like, F the guy with the websites in the back, whatever, which is kind of a bummer, but always been a fan.
But you know he doesn't mean
I know,
it,
I know. I get it.
I think he said F callen and stuff like so.
Yeah,
it's like
I get it, but yeah. But been a fan forever.
Yeah. Again, all that, and obviously, you know, I've been in the public eye for a long time, and since college football I had to deal with this shit. So I think I'm a little more used to it. I'd say it's even more heightened now that I've gone over to comedy. It's heightened even more because you're putting out opinions, and I do so many shows where I have to put opinions out. So I'm used to it. It does not bother me in any facet.
Yeah.
If you don't have an opinion, you're in the wrong business. So I think that's when I did decide to engage with him is when he went after you guys.
Yeah.
So like, whoa, stay with me, man. I'm all about it. Stay with me. I can handle it.
You told us you were
I got these big ass shoulders.
Yeah.
Then when they're like, hey, he's going after Chin, Christian, fucking.